First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor as due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect, who is in the gospel of God, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. This is put up by the brother from Vegas. Race war energy being stirred up in Babylon with Esau and Jacob. As this tension between the two, as is prophesied in the scriptures, was going to come to a head during the time of Esau's fall. All right, for one thing, because since they boy DJ got back in office, Esau has taken this emboldened spirit towards Jake, because, for the last couple of years, Esau, he's took a back seat. He's been exposed. He's being exposed. The world is outing him. He's being caught in the act. He's been scrutinized, and everybody is knowing that he's nothing but a destroyer. He's a warmonger. He displaces citizens. He destroys ecosystems. He destroys lives, man, and the world is calling him out for it. So he's at the point now that he's getting ready to brandish that sword, and he's going to take a lot of his frustration out on you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because that's where his true hatred lies at, man. All right? The scriptures go into how they should complain of an ungodly father, but you are your father's coming back, because it says here, 2 white men attacked black teen for driving through their neighborhood. Now, let me click on this real quick. This has been a thing, black father kills deadly one day after Cincinnati police murdered his son, an eye for an eye. Jake is getting in that spirit of being roused up, because, they understand that now that you could kill a Jake and there's no repercussions for it. Even when you go into Trump's new bill that he's gave the police complete autonomy to do and have his way with you niggas, Jake knows that there's no consequences for Esau killing them. So it's to the point Jake gonna have to fight back, man. And they said it. The police department, they want to charge this man with capital murder, but yeah, you just murdered his son a day prior, so he ran one of their ass over, an eye for an eye. And honestly speaking, shit, he's not off. He did what he had to do. You murdered according to the scriptures. Somebody takes away your loved one unjustly, then you have the right to, avenge of blood, man. But in this system, they can do to us, but we can't do to them. But see, like I mentioned, things are getting ready to come to a head. All right, and the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is getting ready to rouse Jake up, man, because they understand they don't have the protection of the police or this government. And they're going to find out that, hey, this system was never built for them to thrive anyway. So what you going to do, man? All right? It says video shows twins before they were killed on Bell Mountain. And because you got this whole thing... you got this whole thing on them killing his teen. Allegedly, he had a twin brother, which I think that shit is a psyop, allegedly. And we're going to get into the story. But it was basically, I think it was this Jake here. And I think one of the twins, the Edomite dude who allegedly he murdered, got a twin brother, right? Like, come on, man. Make it make sense. But... seeing a punch in the face by an old white man after putting them to her home. Yeah, see, yeah, the tensions are there, man. People are, they're on edge. So anyway, let's play a little bit of this video, and then we'll get a couple of precepts, and that'll be that. So here we go.
Only on 11 Alive this morning, a Rockdale County family wants accountability and an apology after their 5th grade son and his younger sister saw racist signs posted inside Honey Creek Elementary School. Signs posted segregation-era signs over water fountains and in hallways. They read coloreds only and whites only.
I went to go get water, and over the water fountain, my friends told me to look up because it was like a note over the water fountain. It said colors only.
The student says their teacher quickly took down at least one sign and asked who was responsible. The mother sent an email to the principal and the superintendent. The Rockdale County School District says the signs were part of a classroom social studies lesson, but admits it was not aligned with district-approved plans. The board adds they believe there was no ill intent.
Even if whomever put up the signs did not mean to cause harm. They did. Because of that, there needs to be some kind of accountability done, because the children are the ones that were affected by this.
The district's Human Resources Department is now investigating the incident. This morning, the family is still waiting for a formal apology and answers about how something like this could happen.
You ain't gonna get no apology, because in their mindset, they don't owe you anything because they playing the victim. And you got literally the last 600 plus years of violence and murder, bloodshed, pillaging, and yet you playing the fucking victim. That is like if somebody come and burn your house down and try to burn you down there, and then they get caught and they playing the victim. That's what this motherfucking devil do, you know? Zechariah 11:5, it says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Because you got Jakes that come to the aid of Esau, Edom, man. But it says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Yeah, because somehow, some way, Esau is going to turn this into him being the victim. There's like the white bitch that raised $500,000 for calling a little boy a nigger, autistic kid a nigger. Yeah, we call niggas every day. And we ain't got a $500,000 shit. Where's the GoFundMe, right? But this shit is coming to a head, man. And Jake is at the point they want to start putting hands on you devils, and the Lord, he's going to grant that. Because Esau, the Most High has you in the scope pay off his judgment, you know?
17-year-old Carmelo Anthony admitted to fatally stabbing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf during a trap meet in Frisco, Texas on April 2nd. His bond was originally set at
Carmelo Anthony. You know, I'm trying to think. The Edomite who he stabbed, I'm trying to think if this is the one that he got the twin brother, or maybe another account. But regardless,
$1 million, but was reduced to $250,000, and he was released from jail. There was a campaign on the Give, Send, Go to raise money for Anthony's defense, with a goal of $600,000. Neither GoFundMe or Kickstarter have a campaign for Anthony. It is said that he and his family are living in a $900,000 home and have bought a new car on money raised after the killing. If you read through the comments listed with the donations, you'll come across this one by FBA, who donated $15. It read, honestly, even if Carmelo stabbed Austin for no reason at all, I'd still donate and support. Whites have gotten away with killing us for hundreds of years. I could care less about white lives. It's got...
That was a hell of a comeback. But you notice she focused on that. She focused on that because she wants that to spark. That's the emotional outcry right there. That's gonna spark a victim type mentality in Esau. Oh my God, how can he say that? But yeah, cops gun us down every goddamn day. Here you could be at a gas station putting air in your tire, and a cop will come over there and fucking harass you. And nobody has anything to say about it. But now all of a sudden they playing victim, as we just read in Zechariah the 5th chapter.
I'd still donate and support. Whites have gotten, it read, honestly, even if Carmelo stabbed Austin for no reason at all, I'd still donate and support. Whites have gotten away with killing us for hundreds of years. I could care less about white lives. It's gotten 64 hearts in 2 days. Is this where we've gotten to as a society?
Did you call him the child? Did you call the child the word? It is my own business. You call him a... Okay, why don't you have the balls to say it right now again? Okay. All right, that's what you say.
Deny it and walk away. When there was a video and she saw that I was recording, she doubled down And even triple down now.
See, that's what these Edomites do. They throw a rock and hide their hand, and then say she's the victim. How the fuck are you the victim, bitch? That's why the Most High is gonna fuck you devils up, man. All right, and the world is seeing you. The world, you're being exposed. Your wickedness is being put on display. And don't nobody feel bad for you, man. Nobody really gives a shit about Eve. You pay attention. Only people that care about Esau is the dumbass black woman and these stepping fetching niggas. Other than that, as a collective, the whole world hates them. Elam hates them. Ishmael despises them. Hell, Moab hates them. Ammon hates them. Ham hates them. Jake is starting to hate them. Everybody, they hate themselves, man. Okay, nobody care. The Edomite, you're becoming a new nigga on the block. And Jake gonna see that, man. And when Jake smell blood, it's like a piranha to blood, man. Hey, they gonna attack. Because that's what the scriptures say. Go to the book of Genesis 3. And I'm gonna start at verses 15. It says, I will put enmity, there we go, between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. And that's spiritually talking about us and Esau, right? Because this goes into the seed of the woman, which is Israel, okay? Because Israel is known to as a comely and delicate woman, the woman of the Most High. And then the seed of the serpent, which is these devils, man. Okay, it says, I will put enmity between thy seeds and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Okay, so spiritually, this is going into Jacob and Esau, because when you go to Genesis, the 4th chapter, this is where the beef started at, man, because that spirit of the serpent resided in Cain as well, because Cain came back as Esau. But this is the book of Genesis 4, and I'm going to start at verses 5. It says, but unto Cain, but it says, but unto Cain, why art thou wroth? Matter of fact, let's start at 5. It says, but unto Cain, and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And Yahweh said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? It says, if thou doest well, should thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, will sin lie at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. You know, going into, you know, the sin. This man is engraved in sin and wickedness. That's his, you know, outside of the sword, his whole MO is wickedness, is sin, hatred towards his brother, man. So if anybody asks, why blacks hate whites, whites hate blacks, so-called, because nobody is truly black or white. Okay, you have brown people and you have red people, which is the Edomites. I always tell people that it's spiritual. Okay, it's deeper than the color of your skin and your thickness of your lips and your melanin. You know, how coiled your hair is. I'm like, it's a little bit deeper than that. That's surface level shit, but deep down, this has been a rooted tension since the beginning. And that's how the story is written. That's how the Most High set it up. Okay, you got what they call you got the antagonist and then you got the protagonist, man. I believe the antagonist is the bad guy and the protagonist is the good guy. Jacob is the good guy. But as a result of the hatred, Jake has become antagonistic as well. But as a collective, they're still the seed of the righteous. Okay, Jake just act out of character based on the curses and what Esau has done. And on top of that, Jake is just rebellious anyway. We just a rebellious nation. You tell Jake to go up, Jake gonna go left. And just how they are. And it says here, and Cain talked with his brother Abel, and it came to pass when they were in the field, and Cain rose up Abel his brother and slew him. Because you got to understand, the seed of the serpent and the seed of Cain have always been at war with the sons of the Most High, the sons of God, which is the righteous seed, which came back to be the Israelites. Because everything is reincarnated. And it's the same story playing out today. So when cops pull Jake over, you notice cops are less patient with Jakes, man. But yet, I've seen an Edomite put out a switchblade on a cop and shank it at him, and they detained him and arrested him, but no guns were drawn. You know what I'm saying? But versus when Jake you know, he talks back or anything of that nature, then he gets the shit beat out of him, or he more than likely gets killed. That's just how it is, man. You wonder, like, okay, when Jacob's running from the cops, they'll just shoot Jake in the back. Esau is running from the cops, you know, somehow, some way. If he don't get away, then they'll detain him and arrest him and probably let him go. But when it comes to you niggas, they killing you, man. You know? Because Esau knows that he had what he called white privilege. This is why when you're dealing with them Edomite women, be careful, man. This is why Apostle Dahar said you're not supposed to marry their ass. Be careful, because just because she's, you know, she's tender and somewhat delicate, you know, because she understands, you know, Jake's worth for the most time. A lot of times they just be rod-strucken. They like the rod, man, and they just have a fantasy of dealing with Jake. They just have even in slavery, Edomite women slept with Jake. We've always had Edomite women. It's not the fact that they love you. They just have a fantasy of dealing with you. They don't give a fuck about you because they're still a devil. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be careful not to get caught up in a charade of these Edomite women, man, when they start inviting you over to the family and, hey, my family is here and there, and then all of a sudden they find your goddamn head in the bottom of a goddamn lake somewhere, and then, you know, hey, you got tooken. But it says, and Cain talked with his brother Abel, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him, so he put him to death. And it says, and the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? So he like, nigga, I don't know. Because you're supposed to be your brother's keeper, right? But he said, am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried unto me from the ground. You know, and that was the spirit. And it says, and now thou art cursed from the earth, which had opened our mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. All right, so that's the first concept of him killing his brother right here. And these two came back as Jacob and Esau. And even when he came back as Esau, he had that hatred. And this is why today they grid you off in these particular neighborhoods. You have what they call redlining, when the property value goes up in one area and it goes down in the Jake neighborhoods, and you can see the difference. They stick you in the ghettos. You know, they stick you in the Lovatos, the ghettos. You know, they give you the worst jobs. You have the worst quality of food. You know, you have the worst quality of health care. All that's done systematically because they're hatred, man. You know, this is why Esau is going to pay. And Jake, they finally realizing that, like, wait a minute, man, this man is the goddamn enemy. Well, duh, we've been telling you that. The prophets have been warning you that you cannot trust the so-called white man. He does not give a shit about you. Okay, just because you dribble a basketball and you can put the motherfucker through your legs while you dunk the basketball, hey, they don't give a fuck, man. Hey, like dude said, that Schroeder, Charleston White broke it down. He said, look, at the end of the day, when they retire your jersey, they saying, look, man, that was my nigga. Because you ain't nothing but a slave to them, man. You ain't nothing but a high-profile slave, you know, with talent and physical attributes. Same thing like when you're going into the NBA drafts, the NFL drafts, some draft round picks, you know, when they measuring the body and you get the number, that ain't nothing but a modern-day auctioning block, man. You know, first round, third draft pick, some shit like that. Yeah, they'll pay you the money, you know, but at the same time with the slaves, like slaves got put in certain positions to do things because they had weight, you know. So it's the same concept. Look, this bitch, she rolls $525,000 for calling a kid a nigga. That right there shows you that's 525,000 people, and she probably gonna hit that $1 million mark. But that shows you that there's we don't know how many people did it. I mean, you know, people donated, probably wasn't 525,000 people that donated $1, nah, you know, but I'm pretty sure, but you still had thousands of people that donated to our cause. And that right there should scare you jakes, man, because who you work with, who you going out with, you clubbing with, who you live next door to, they looking at you like, man, I can't stand this nigga. That's just how it is. That's just how it is, man.
I don't know know if it's just me, but it's been getting harder and harder to justify making content when headlines like Minnesota mom rakes in over $500,000 after calling boy with autism the N-word. It's like knowing this whole time you've been on this earth, everybody's been racist as fuck, but now they're just open, bold, and proud with it.
We try to share this next case because it's not being talked about enough, and we need justice for Jordan Hill. This is 10-year-old Jordan Hill's mom holding a picture of him because on April the 6th, he was riding his ATV on a road that he normally plays on when this guy right here, Cody Rawlinson, was driving home when he struck Jordan and kept going. It's been reported that Cody didn't even stop to check on Jordan. He kept going. It's also been reported that there were no skid marks in the road near Jordan, indicating that Cody didn't even slow down or try to. I've been trying to research this case as much as I can, but no one is really talking about it. I've seen some TikTok videos, and that's really about it. I came across this post on Facebook where all the residents of Liberty, Mississippi are outraged. I wonder why Jordan Hill's story hasn't been in the media. Let me guess, because he was unalived by a white man. The Carmelo Anthony story is everywhere, but when them tables turn, it's crickets. Well, let's get into it. This 10-year-old boy named Jordan Hill was unalived while riding his ATV in Mississippi. He was hit by a man named Cody Rawlinson. On the scene, there were no skid marks like he tried to prevent from hitting this child. This man hit him and kept driving. He only came back to get his mirror that was missing and damaged from being knocked off his truck during the incident. Afterwards, he was only booked on marijuana charges and was never charged with Jordan's unalived. It's free as a bird and out. How do you hit a child and not call 911 to render some kind of help? This man has Confederate flags hanging from his house. I'm going to paint the picture just how they do us. Living houses down.
Yeah, the scriptures say they're not in trouble with other men. So they can get away with that. That's the reason why they get away with killing Jake, man. But if that was the other way around, they would have hunted Jake down. Even if it was an accidentally hit and run and Jake ran or whatever, they would have put an APB out on that dude, man. All right, because like I said, man, you know, the hatred. So this is the book of Psalm 73, and I'm going to start at verses 3. And it says, "For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked." Yeah, because when you look at them, it's like, damn, how can a people be so inherently evil, but yet they have not been judged for the shit they've done? Like earlier, going back into the comment they made when they donated to Carmelo, was it Carmelo Anthony, I think? How ironic, right? But Carmelo Anthony's GoFundMe, and they've been getting away with killing us for hundreds of years, and that's absolutely right. Okay, they have not been judged for the shit they've done. Okay, now they're getting judged, you know, it's starting, but overall, there's no consequences, man. The amount of bloodshed they didn't shed to the children of Israel, man. But yet, somebody go up against a small hats or somehow unjustly disturbs them, Esau will search he'll go scorch earth to get you. You know? But it says, "For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there is no bands in their death, but their strength is firm." Yeah. It says, "They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men." Yeah, they're not plagued. Now they're trying to paint this picture that Jake commits all the crimes. Wait a minute, man. How can a so-called minority, which Jake is not the minority, if you really look at it, but how can a so-called group of minorities create 70% of the crimes, man? When it's statistically showed that Jake only commits like 28, 29% of the crimes, man. All right, and you Edomites, you commit 49 to 50% of the crimes. But yet Jake has a 75% more incarceration rate than you damn Edomites. Make that make sense. But it says, "Therefore pride compassing them about as a chain, and violence covered them as a garment." Yeah. So they get away with shit. You know? Like, how the hell does a Edomite woman get X amount of dollars for calling a little boy a nigga? But see, Jake killed that Edomite boy, and now, hey, he's $500-some thousand up now. I think he was like 530 bands up. They call it the GoFundMe wars. Because now Jake is like, okay, y'all on that kick, we on that kick. So there's a spirit of tension rising up between Jacob and Esau. Because Jake is to the point now, they're getting ready to rouse up. You know? And it says, "And their eyes stand up with fatness, and they have more than a heart can wish." It says they are corrupt, and they speak wickedly concerning oppression. Yeah. Them niggas, man. Them niggas in slavery. Them niggas need to go back in slavery. Good for them niggas. It says they speak wickedly concerning oppression, and they speak loftily. You seen when dude basically confronted her about calling that child a nigga, and what she do? The proud bitch She looked at him and stuck her middle finger up, you know? And that's why, hey, the Most High is going to allow these other heathens to put hands on your ass too, man. All that disrespectful shit and all that slide talk and passive-aggressive shit you Edomites been doing in Jake and the other nations, hey, you going to get some get back, man. They going to get some get back on you. It's downhill from you. It's downhill for East. It's downhill for you from this point, E. So, like we say, enjoy the last couple of seconds of your kingdom, man. Because it's you're going down head first. And you're going to come back in our kingdom as a servant, as a slave. And that's going to be the most miserable existence of your entire existence, man. You're not going to enjoy on the other side, bro. Once this bitch gets destroyed finally, and we grab you up and put you in captivity, you're not going to have an easy life, bro. Okay, you're not going to have a good life. Okay, you're going to have a horrid life, man. It's going to be totally miserable for you, torturous. We're going to look forward to kicking your ass every day. Because look at what you did to us. You know? So.
Down, no care, no concern. I'm just wondering why this is nowhere to be found in the media. Share this post, let's spread awareness, and get this baby some justice. Now, I haven't seen anywhere just yet where police have ruled this an accident or anything, or if they just let him go home scot-free. I'm not sure. I'm going to try to stay updated on this case. Share this video. Let's get this word out. Nobody's going to get it out if we don't. We need justice for Jordan Hill.
What in the get out is going on here? So I saw this on X, y'all, and I had to share this with y'all. So this couple, this interracial couple, went on a date, right? Now this dude posted this on Facebook originally, and it went viral. He said, "This is why I don't usually date outside my race." Now, if y'all have never seen the movie Get Out, you better go watch it. So basically, he went out with this girl. They went on a date. That was the picture of them. And then she texted him saying, "I definitely enjoyed our night out, but I don't think my parents can find out about us, ... He said, "Same here, and why?" And she said, "They despise black guys. My last black boyfriend, let's just say it didn't go well. They literally set him up to be put in jail for life for something he didn't even do. Google Wellington. I really like you, but I don't want anything to happen to you." Not giving his government name. And then he replied and said, "I like you too, and yeah, that's crazy. I went to school with him. Maybe if you sat down and had a conversation with them, they'll loosen up. Think they would be down for dinner?" And she said, "I'll ask, LOL, because I really like you, and I will not lose you." And then he said, "I don't want to lose you either." And then she basically said that her mom and stepdad would be open to meeting that evening. So I guess he meets the parents. He takes a screenshot of the dinner and shows receipts of the meeting. This is so creepy. So he took her phone and saw a message. This is so creepy, y'all. Saying this. He said, it says basically that was her talking to her mom, "Mommy love." He seems well put together, but it's something about him me and Jeff don't approve of. He seems like he would be good around the house for things we need, but not for a relationship. Try to convince him to start work.
See, they look at your black ass like a slave, man. This is why, hey, you know, yeah, we talk shit about the black, because the black woman's the devil too. You know, we talk shit about the black woman, the Hispanic, Native American woman. You know, and you know, we always pull fun and say, yeah, get your Edomite woman. And I mean, yo, get your Edomite chick, get you one, you know, deal. But, you know, she could be a Jake too, but don't be marrying them bitches, man. You know, don't be marrying, don't be giving your strength into these women, man, you know, because like I said, the Edomite woman, she's a bigger devil than a male counterpart. That movie Get Out showed you that, man. I mean, they had a good relationship. She was subservient to him, you know, she was, you know, just all sweet and nice and dandy to him. And she invited the nigga to the crib, and they wanted to basically, they wanted to put that nigga in a gulag, man. That really happens. We're reading the account of it right now. This is why you devils are going to get fucked up, man. All right, and I got to keep saying that because, hey, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai's had enough of your shit. Okay, you've been fucking our people over for the longest, man. And it's about time that the Lord allows his men, his people to get at you for a chance. You know, this is the book of Genesis 49, and I'm going to start at verses 8. It says, "Judah, thou art whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies." And who is the enemy? Starting first with the Edomite, the so-called white man. And it says, "Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. But Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey, my son, thou art gone up, and he stooped down, and he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? And hopefully this is the time that Jake gets riled up, because like we mentioned, Trump has basically given the cops immunity to do as they please with you, Jakes, man. So hopefully you get some whiff of that, and you start to really see what it is, man, and get yourselves together and come back to your power. But we know the 2/3 you ain't gonna repent. Okay, you're just gonna go off straight reaction, and you're gonna go and get totally put down. But in retrospect, you know, Jake will ultimately overcome at the end. You know, like the scriptures say, God, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the end. So it's gonna get real brutal out here. Let me bring out one more precept and I'll end it. Ezekiel 25 verses 12. And it reads here, thus says the Lord Yahweh, because thy Edom, it says, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon him. Therefore, thus says the Lord Yahweh, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and I will cut off men and beasts from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of the den shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. So you see, the Most High is going to allow Jake to get his get back, man. And this is really going into the elect, you know, the men with the power, spiritual powers. But nonetheless, there will be Jakes here in America that's in race wars with these Edomites, and we're seeing it build up. You know, it tells us in Zechariah 9 that the Most High have raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece. Greece is talking about you Edomites, man. And Jake, you know, the sons of the Most High. So there will be race wars in America. There will be civil wars. Watching the build up, as I mentioned. And I will lay vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they should do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, and they should know my vengeance, says the Lord Yahweh. And that's going to be bad because, see, the Most High is going to put his anger on Jake. Okay, he's going to put his anger on his people. And when he put his anger on Jake, it ain't really nothing you can do about that, because you don't understand the anger of the Heavenly Father. This is a power that has totally drowned the whole earth, man. Okay, except 8 people. Women, children, newborns, animal, all types of shit. Poseidon totally hit the reset button on his place. And he's getting ready to pelt this nation with nuclear missiles. This is a power that you don't really want to fuck with, man. And the fact he's going to put his anger on his people, you Edomites are in big fucking trouble, man. All right? All that shit has been building up since going back. Matter of fact, going back into the time of Cain and Abel, Jacob and Esau, going into the time of Haman the Agagite. You know, they always wanted us to bow to their power structure, man. Going back into when you sold us out to the Babylonians, going back to the Greeks, the Romans, and now you still on the same. He has literally been a thorn in our side pretty much every fucking captivity, man. Even if he wasn't directly doing it. You know, like the Babylonian, what'd he do? He rat us out. There you go. So you got a lot to pay for, Esau, and the Most High ain't done with you. He ain't even started with you yet. That's the scary part. Ecclesiastes 3:15, it says here, that which has been is now, and that which is to be have already been, and the power required that which is past. So you got to pay for what you did, bro. You know? But anyway, with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you'll edify into the next lesson. Shalom.
Working for us. And once we take a trip to the mountains this summer, we'll know the rest. Well, you know the rest. What? And then she said, Mom, I really like him. Can I at least keep him? He's very sweet. What? And then she said, not at all. Dating a black guy in the South, especially Mississippi, is not recommended. Do as you're instructed, please. You'll find someone better. And then she says, okay, I'll let him know that Jeff is hiring for work around the house. And like, what? He then posted this post on FB saying, so this is why I stopped dating outside my race, would be good and set up. And to this day, she still don't know that I saw those messages in her phone because I left afterwards and never said nothing else about it. Be careful out here, especially in Mississippi. Y'all better be safe. This is crazy. This is literally insane that this is a true story.
At these East Price Hill condos Thursday morning, Cincinnati officers tracked down a stolen vehicle.
As you know, we had a critical incident yesterday.
4 people get out and start running. In body cam footage released today, in just 6 seconds, police say 18-year-old Ryan Hinton aims his gun at officers.
He's got a gun!
Police shoot and kill him. Today on MLK Drive, a deputy is working traffic control for UC graduation when a driver crashes into him.
There is a connection between these two incidents. The driver of today's vehicle that struck a deputy has a family relationship with the 18-year-old that we shot yesterday.
Chief, is the person who hit the deputy the father of the person who was shot yesterday?
Yes.
Ryan Hinton's father, 38-year-old Rodney Hinton, is charged with aggravated murder in the deputy's death. He was taken to University Hospital in critical condition. Hours later, the Hamilton County Sheriff's deputy dies. The CPD homicide unit investigating both the death of the deputy killed today and the death of the 18-year-old shot by police.
I can assure you, as the chief of police for Cincinnati, I will ensure you transparency and a thorough and accurate investigation.